Imagine what it would be like to have a job earning about $43,000 a year. The uniform is like wearing pajamas to work, and part of the job description would be to play catch. If you're interested so far, you might want to know more about becoming a physical therapy assistant, otherwise known as a PTA. But it's a long academic road to travel to get there. But if you like long days in the lab, endless nights surrounded by books, then you're a perfect fit. I'm going to share with you 3 main things you need to know to become a PTA. From finding the right school, to learning the right medical supplies and equipment, and to having a great clinical experience. Per the Commission on Accreditation in Physical Therapy Education, it's important that the school that you choose is accredited, and here's why. A PTA program in Eugene, Oregon, at Lane Community College wasn't accredited initially, and their classes were held in a trailer that was cold and damp. The faculty really didn't have the right certification or credentials, and what's worse, or when their students graduated, they were unable to get a job because they didn't have the proper certification. Here at Anne Arundel Community College, at the PTA program, it is an accredited 2-year program, and it's the most affordable program in the state of Maryland. All of your lab fees and your books and all of the fees that require you to go to school are all included in about $7,700. But it's very competitive. There's only about 30 seats available, and there's usually over 300 applicants every semester. But you have to go to school and you have to learn all the general education requirements such as ethics and psychology. But before you get there, you got to make sure that you've had English 111, Math 131, that you've had a criminal background check, you've had drug screening. All those things are required before you can get in the program. But once you get started and you do your core curriculum, and you start out with your class lectures, but then you get to the fun part. You get to do role playing, and you do hands-on role playing with your classmates. It is not unusual to walk down the halls of the Floristano building and see students working together to teach one another how to use medical supplies and equipment, much like the one that I'm wearing right here. For a patient that's maybe broken a wrist or dislocated their thumb, a PTA is going to help a patient rehabilitate by showing them how to properly remove their equipment, how to strengthen their wrist muscles again, and how to get the reflexes back by, like I said, playing catch. So they get to do all of those things to help their patients with their care, and they're on the road to recovery. But aside from that, you also get to have a clinical experience and go right on location at the hospital where you may work one day. According to Professor Dave Thomas, who is the chairperson of the PTA program at Anne Arundel Community College, he says that's where the rubber meets the road, and that's when you find out if these students have really learned anything throughout the whole entire process. And they get an opportunity to get real patient care experience and real co-worker experience. And all that training and all that education comes flooding back in that clinical experience. For instance, even the gen eds, because when you start working with co-workers and you see things that are happening, you're not quite sure if they're ethical. Your ethics class comes back. Or when you work with that patient who's able but not willing to stretch out and do the exercises that you need them to do, then maybe your psychology training comes running back too. So you can see how $7,700 is really a big investment in your future in a new career where you can earn about $43,000 a year doing something that you love, working with patients, playing catch, or just pretty much having a good time at work. So for more information, I brought everyone in the audience today one of these handbooks, so you can grab one when you leave today, and it'll give you more information about the PTA program. And if you have any questions, there's also some contact information in here as well. Thank you, and happy career searching.